Good morning! Hi, cubies and newbies. I am Sunshine. I am the ABCube tutor, and this is the ABCube method for solving Rubik's cubes. This is formula A is 4 moves. Formula B is 8 moves. You hold the cube in your hand and you look at the face of the cube as if you're looking at a spreadsheet with rows and columns, and those are the arrows. The arrows represent that single slice you move, and the line represents the rest of the cube. So it is effective on every cube, because from a 2x2 on through as big as you can hold in your hand. And this morning I was just thinking that I wanted to show you guys one of my earlier I wrote this as a manuscript many times. There's many itinerations. I started off with with the but I wanted to show you some of my earlier attempts. Here's the box. Oh no, I just broke my box. Okay, never mind. I just broke my box of my earlier attempts. I started off as a little flip chart. A little flip chart. Simple solve for every cube. Started off as a little flip chart. With pencil and paper. I was going to there are 2 formulas to apply to all cubes, including the digital ones. And I was color neutral. In the book. I was going to use 3 non-traditional colors, so you could be color neutral in your solve. Formula 1 and Formula 2. And then the first step is to do the corners. And it runs on from there. But here's the intro that I wrote. I published it online in 2020. This is the 2015 version. It says the 2-formula cube solve for non-cubists. A simple 2-formula solution for every complexity Rubik's type cubes. And it's just fun for me to look back on what I had done. This one I had graduated to a digital copy, and I printed it off at the local library. I have at one point in time, it was done in flowchart formula. This is for how to do the first 4 corners. Is completely here in this one little flowchart, where you start off with random, and you want to get to this is your goal. So the first thing you do is you examine 2 cubies. The top one, the one under your right thumb, and the one below and under your right thumb as you're holding it. And if your active color is on either one of these 2 cubies, then yes, you do this, but no, rotate the bottom row 1/4 turn and ask the question again. And so once you have a yellow in one of these 2 spots, then you say, well, is your active color on top? And if no, then you're going to do formula A. And then you're going to ask again, is your active color on top? And you're going to do formula A until the cube that was in one of these 2 spots is on top. If yes, rotate the top row and say, now, is your active color on top on all 4 corners? If no, you then need to continue the system. If yes, then this is what you're looking at. You're looking at the top 4 corners are all your active color. And then you examine the ridges of the corners on all 4 sides for matches. And do all sides match? No. Okay. Then does one color match? If no, then do formula B. And if yes, then rotate the cube so that the matching color is facing the back and do formula B. And then at that point in time, does one side color match? You do formula B, and then after formula B, you come to this, is your active color on top? If yes, rotate the top corner, or active color on top on all four corners. You keep doing this around. If your active color is not on top, you do formula A twice. Is your active color on top? Yes, rotate the top, your active color on top, and you keep going until you get to, if yes, then you examine the sides again. And so, and all sides are matched, yes, goes over to here. So, I managed to do, this is just the first four corners. This is the first four corners. But then you flip it over and you do it again. But this was one of my formulas. Was one of the methods that I did was this. This is how I did the first step. I didn't get farther than that because I got distracted and went to another way. Here is, what else do I have here? I can't, I had it on the table. Here's another simple solve for Rubik's Cubes, also 2015. This was, the front was going to demonstrate how no matter what the cube looks like, it ends up looking like this. Introduction, preface. Okay, I have a let's go into it right into an introduction. All Rubik's Cube types have 6 faces, which can be turned along 3 axes. Most other cube books name each face and inner slices, each slice and inner slices, that should have been wrong. And then look at the formulas, and this is if you see this symbol, this is what you do. This is the entirety of the book, not just the first chapter. Here's an example of how Formula B moves 3 inner pieces. Those are the pieces you want to move. That's Formula B looks like. Those are those are the slices that you move in order to do what you want, and that's what happens. So I put a lot of work into this, you guys. But I wanted to share this with you. Okay. A brief history of Rubik's type cubes. And I'm just sharing with you guys because it's fascinating to me to look back on how I got here. But if you guys have questions, I'll go into chat. So, but here it is. Let's go up a little bit here. 2 by 2 by 2. As far as I can tell, someone told me not to say that. This is edited. The first Rubik's type puzzle was patented by Larry D. Nichols in 1970, and that's the U.S. patent number. The 8 cubes were held together by magnets and could be twisted around on the axis to scramble or solve the 6-sided, 6-colored cube, or it could be pulled apart and reassembled. And then then you get to the 3 by 3. Erno Rubik patented the 3 by 3 cube in 1975, Hungary. It differed from Nichols' cube in how it internally held itself together. His cube was originally called Magic Cube. It took Rubik about a month to solve his own invention. The name of the cube was changed to identify its creator. And then the 4 by 4 was patented by Pete Sebestny in 1982, and also by Li Chen Sing in 1998, because they were both held together different ways. And it was known as both Rubik's Revenge and the Master Cube. Okay. The 5 by 5 was called the Professor's Cube and was designed by multiple people due to the differences in inner workings. Remember, ideas can't be patented, such as the idea of a 3-axis puzzle cube. Only the specific manifestations of the idea can be copyrighted. Some of the inventors are Udo Krell, Eithshein, and somebody Verdez, I don't know her name. And then in Singmaster in 1981, David Singmaster wrote and published a tutorial on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. In a textual world, he standardized the naming of the pieces. So Singmaster standardized it. Okay, this is up, this is down. This book that I have, the one I learned on, was written before the cube was standardized. And when I learned it, it wasn't R and R prime, it was R plus and R minus, and R2. And it was clockwise as you're looking at the face of the cube, which was always confusing to my poor little brain. But this was written before standardized notation. So Singmaster did that, and then the Void Cube was patented in 2009. And that's as far as I went for when things were done. To demonstrate the variety of availability, a 3x3 can easily be found at a dollar store, whereas a bundle of 8 cubes ranging from the 2x2 to a 7x7 can be found online for roughly $200. And to my knowledge, the largest physical commercially available now is 13x13. This was back in 2015. I believe we have a different one now. Sorry, my hand's over my face. Let's see. The largest commercially available is the 13x13, now on sale for $300. And currently Guinness says the largest working cube is 17x17. However, the larger cubes are not more difficult than a 5x5, and this book will allow you to solve any size cube with no difference in complexity. The only difference is that the more cubies there are, the longer it takes, but it can all be solved using only the 2 formulas in this book. Even though Rubik only invented the 3x3 version of the cubes, the vernacular is that all puzzles of this type are incorrectly referred to as Rubik's cubes and are rather identified by the complexity of the cube, such as, hey, have you seen my 7x cube? This is not dissimilar to how flavored gelatin is called Jello and adhesive bandages are called Band-Aids, regardless of the manufacturer. The patent was circumvented by manufacturers who developed a different way of holding the cube together, allowing the cube to reach its peak popularity. And then I went to the introduction. So this is definitely this was working. Definitely made a lot of, yeah. The goal is to get out, trying to. I'm a visual learner, so writing things down, going into words. Oh, hi, I'm back. Hi, ABCuber. Hi, A Cold Cuber. 33x33 is now. Yes, I wrote this in 2015. So. But then it goes into my formulas, and so, but here's, like, I already showed this one to you guys, but this is when I was in my, I created my, I went through a lot of steps before I wrote that, yes, I wrote that, that is part of the manuscript that I'm looking for an agent for. This is, yeah, I'm looking through my old ones, but the first was pen and paper, pencil and paper on a flip cube I bought way back before. This is before I named my method. I just called it Simple Solve for Every Cube. And then so I did this as well. This helped me finalize this is just the first 4 corners. This is the flow chart for the first 4 corners. So I'm just looking through my old stuff. I had a box, but the box broke and now everything's scattered on the floor. This is in between that one. Still pencil and paper. Simple Solve for Every Cube. Introduction and a brief history of the Rubik's Cubes, and then this is what I just read to you guys. What did I write on the side here? This is not dissimilar. Oh, flavored Jello. So yeah, this is the early versions. This is my earliest tries to come up with to formalize my method. Step 1, labeling everything. And then, so you do the corners with step 1 is the corners, and then the opposite edges, and then the side edges, opposite edges, and then the side edges, and then the centers, and how to do it. So, yeah, this is one of, I went from a flip book with pen and pencil and paper to paper with pen. Oh, here we go. Here's another flow chart. Let's look at this. This shows formula A is these 4 moves. And then formula B is this. 2A, A twice looks like that. And then so here's 1A, here's 2A, and then if you want to go, then I also had the opposites, the inverses of A, so you could go in the other direction if you didn't want to go all the way through it to 5. But here, starting here, yeah, I'm proud of myself. Starting here, start with the corners. Is your top corner on all 4 corners? If yes, then the next goal is to work on the side corners. So if no, is this one a yellow, your active color? And if no, then is it somewhere? Is it here or here? Is it anywhere on this top cube? And if it's anywhere on the top cube, then okay, if it's on top, then slide it to the top and look again. If it's on the front, then you do 2A and slide the top. If it's on the side, you do 2A and then get back into your cycle. If it's not on one of these, then tilt the cube slightly forward to look at the cube on the bottom, and then is it on the bottom? If yes, then do formula A. If not, then slide the bottom until it is. And then if the sides do match, if the sides don't match, if one side, I can't even read this. If one side matches, rotate the cube so the matches in the back. Okay. And then do formula B, and then go back to things. If all sides match, then turn it upside down. This went farther than the other one. Turn it upside down, and do the same thing over again. Flip the cube over, top to bottom. What cube is now on top, common to the top 4 corners, and work over again. So yeah, so I gotta pick this up. 1 second. Broke my box. All right. I started, instead of just using formula B, I was going to show which columns to use for wherever the cube was that you were going. I was going to get that detailed into it, but I didn't need that. And then it's also going to, chapter 4 was going to be, chapter 1 was corners, chapter 2 was edges, chapter 3 was centers, chapter 4 was going to be shortcuts and pretty patterns and what to do. Oh, and before that, before the flip card, I started off on 3x5 index cards. 3x5 index cards. I was going to put them. I poked a hole in the middle, and I was going to put them on a ring. This shows that I started off. I didn't start off with corners. I started off with, the first step was you choose a corner. We're doing the daisies. We started off with that, and then to get from here to here was the first step, and then how to get this. The next step would be how to do that. And then here's my. This is this is the inverse of formula A, where I did, instead of out, down, in, up, I did down, out, in, up, in. The first step to get there. And then after you've got those, then how to get this piece up. And that was down, out, up, in. So yeah, I have been working on this in different stages for a long time. And then flip it over and find a way to do this is again. So this is why this is where I first started translating the algorithm into the arrows. I wrote down the algorithm was top plus, right plus, top minus, right minus, and this is what the arrows looked like when you do that. I started off with 3 arrows instead of 2 because I was working with the 3x3 cube, and I went from here, if I work down to 2 arrows, then I can use it for everything. Instead of having, I'm like, if I do a 5x5 cube, I have to have 5 arrows, that's going to be confusing. So I went down to just 2 arrows from here. But yeah, these are, for example, here, how to get this piece from here to here. Was the top row over, the left side up, top row back, second column up. So this is every row, every slice had its own arrow before I went to 2 formulas. Went to 2 arrows. I'm happy. This is fun for me. So anyway, so this is what it was going to be. It was going to be a little flip card, flip book that you could use, and then it became that. And then I put it into, and then finally in 2020 I put it online. So that's the story. That's the story of my cube, my method. How I came up with the method is written down on my about me page on my abcube.how. But yeah, so I just walked down memory lane there. All right. So, how are you guys doing today? Do you want me to solve any cubes, or do you guys got to get you on about your day? Yeah, so that's the steps I went through to get to where I am now. So I did finally get it into a finalized product on abcube.how, but I'm in the process of trying to redo it, because it's kind of like the dancing bear. It's not that it does it well, it's just the fact that it does it at all. That's fascinating. When I created this on Wix, I really didn't know what I was doing, and so I just used for each step was a different blog post. And then I tried to number them in order, but it kept coming up in the order of last blog post edited, so it's hard for me I can't alphabetize them. But a friend showed me how I can do, I'm trying to translate that from the blog post to an album. So if I put each step instead of a blog post, I would move it over to an album instead. Then I can alphabetize them by title, and it can have a nice little index for it. So I have been avoiding doing that for the last 2 years because it's more fun to teach and to demonstrate than it is to copy and paste. So if any of you guys are experts, if any of you guys have a lot of fun working with websites and know how to do what I need to do, drop me an email and I will contact you. Anyway, so that's it. That's how I became where I am now. I got to where I am now. I will scramble this one. I will come back later. I gotta go. I'm hungry. I gotta go feed my face. So thank you for joining me this morning. Sorry it was non-traditional. I didn't scramble any cubes, but I hope you had fun looking at how I got to where I am. So you guys go have fun, have a great day. I'll be back this evening, and I'll see you then. Bye.